Hi there everyone, this is my deck profile on the op10 Marco leader from the 2 Legend set of the One Piece TCG. His ability is with 1 Dawn attached. Activate main once per turn, you can draw a card, then put a card from your hand at the top or bottom of the deck, then give a character minus 2,000 power this turn. That is just insanely good in correlation with the red and blue colors. If you want to put a card on the top or bottom, just really helps with the deck manipulation. Chain cards out for free, as we'll see with a 9-toss Sanji or 5-toss Ace later in the deck. My deck build is more focused around the actual Whitebeard strategy versus just normal good stuff as some other decks are. So here, let's start getting into the cards. As mentioned, our main playmaker is this 9-toss Sanji here, which I do run 3 copies of. He is a 9-toss, 9,000 power. On play, you reveal the top card of your deck. Then play up to any 9-toss or lower character other than a Sanji for free. In conjunction with the leader ability, on our 10 Dawn turn, we can attach 1 to lead, draw a card, put whatever card we want back on top, play a Sanji, cheat that card out for free, just a free character. Very powerful. This is just a 1 if I play in the deck. A very good card to cheat off the Sanji, though. It's a 9-toss, 10k power Edward Newgate character. On play, give up to one of your leaders plus 2,000 power until the start of your opponent's next turn. That's really good. Say on our 10 Dawn turn, we use 1 on our lead, draw a card, put this Newgate back on top. Then we play the Sanji with the rest of our 9. We then play this Newgate for free, making Marco a 7,000 power leader, and then getting a 9k on board and also a 10k. So, while we only do run 1 of it, as it's not the best card in the deck, it's just a great tempo play in the late game. However, our best cheat off of Sanji are these 3 silver Rayleighs. They are 8 cost, 8k powers. On play, you select 2 of your opponent's characters. One of them gets minus 3,000 power this turn. The other gets minus 2,000 power this turn and your opponent's turn till their end. Then we KO a 3,000 power or less, which by itself, very good. You can KO any 6k power less character. However, when you combine it with Marco's ability, the second part, where after you draw, you give a character minus 2,000 power this turn, it then lets you KO 8k power characters with just 9 Dawn, with the 1 on the Marco and the 8 for Rayleigh. As we'll see later in the deck, we do have more ways to lower power and KO almost anything in the game. After that, we have some rush options, mainly for the Whitebeard package. We have 2 7-toss Portas D Ace. So 7-toss, 7k power. I got the second anniversary versions right here. Then on play, you give up to 2 of your opponent's characters minus 3,000 power. Then if your leader does have the Whitebeard Pirate type, which Marco does, he has Rush. So by himself, very good way. On play, you can give 2 blockers minus 3,000 power. If your opponent has, say, a Cavendish, if you're facing Bonnie or something, and it's tapped, give it minus 3,000 power, then swing into it with the Rush. You'd also cheat it out with the Sanji on your 10 Dawn turn, just get good Rush option there. Let's see. After that, we do run 3. This is probably the best card in the deck, in my opinion, of the 7-toss Newgate. 7-tossed 8k power. Was lucky enough to pull this SP right here from the new set. Very happy about that. And then it has on play. You do up to 1 rested Dawn to your leader. That is amazing. Basically, if you're on 7 Dawn going first, play 7, and then give 1 to Marco. So it lets you use his ability. And then his second ability on this card is activate main. You can rest him to KO a character with a power of 5k or less. By that self, that's straight. Most blockers in this game have 5k power or less, especially the ones that are mainly played. Then, in conjunction with just giving a Dawn to our lead, and we can use lead ability, it can KO any 7-toss or any 7k power or lower on the turn it's played. Very powerful. After that, we have our 2 Jozu right here. This is just, again, more of that Whitebeard package, along with some tempo play. On play, return 1 of your characters to your owner's hand. Then you return 1 of your opponent's characters with a toss of 6 or less to their hand. Not the best removal, honestly, going into the current matchup with purple-black Luffy, increasing cost, and other decks just not running as many very important characters that we need to bounce. However, we run 2 of them just to be Good if we do need him, and he also has a 1-day counter, which is, very important. As we see, we run a lot of bricks in this deck. After him, we move on to our 5-toss. These two are also some of our stronger options. Some more Porta's the Ace, just like that one up there. It's a 5-toss 6-day power version. He has, if your leader is the Whitebeard Pirates, he gains Rush. Very important thing with him versus the 7-toss is the 7-toss Rush is tied to its on-play, so on the Blackbeard matchup, we're not very good, honestly. But this Ace does help a lot in that Blackbeard matchup, since his Rush isn't tied to being an on-play. I have seen some people opt for 4 of him and none of the 7-toss, or, different ratios like that. I like running 2 and 2, mainly because with him being a 7K, that can also lower power on play. I feel like he's very important into the later game, especially more fortressy decks like Bonnie. On play, you can make your opponent's kid lose 3,000 power. Helps a lot with laying him dead. Then after that, we have the most important 5-toss for the Whitebeard build, in my opinion. And that is the 5-tossed Ace from op10. And so this Ace, 5-toss, 6,000 power. On play, you reveal the top card of your deck. And you play a character with Whitebeard Pirates type with a cost of 4 or less, then you put the rest on the bottom of your deck. Very good with the lead ability. Just its main synergy with Marco, kind of like it's a smaller version of the Sanji, is we run a lot of 4 and 3-toss Whitebeard Pirates that on our sit-on turn or more, we can put them on top of the deck with Marco, play this Ace out, get 2 bodies. Obviously, one of them is a 6K power person, and it depends on the others, but it's just great tempo. Obviously, we can cheat out some blockers, which we will see later, or just some other tech options depending on how we build the deck. See, this one right here is a card we can cheat out. He's also just a searchable 2-day counter, which shows you. Run 4 of him. We do need a lot of counter with our heavy brick. However, on play, if we have 2 or less life and we attach 1 onto him, he does have Rush. So in some matchups, especially with the Blackbeard one, in my opinion, he can be very good finishing out games. So we'll put him up there for now. Moving to other targets for the op10 Ace. We have our op10 Thatches right here. Here's a 4-toss 5K power. 1K counter, which is very important. And then he has the ability that if he would be removed by the field or KO'd, which counts for battle, bottom decking with Gravity Blade, or just any black deck, really, we can trash him to draw a card instead. May not seem like the biggest deal ever, but just as this counts battle and basically any effect ever, it's just a free card draw. And since he's also a 5K power body and very popular, then this, I used to run 4 of, now I run 3, time of testing the ratios. But this is a 4-toss Marco blocker. And this, I'd say when op10 first released, was the best thing to cheat off this Ace. It was just such good fortressy feel. Because he is a 5K power blocker, but then on KO, if we have 2 or less life, we can trash card from our hand with the Whitebeard Pirates type to bring him back rested. Which obviously he can't block then, but he kind of becomes a pseudo blocker at that point. Like, your opponents want to kill him just so we don't have him to block in next turn. And in this version that we have so many targets for him. Pretty much the only targets that don't count that we've seen so far is the Rayleighs, Sanjis. Apart from that, all the way from our 9-toss new dates to our Thatches and Josus, they'll all count. He's very popular. However, right now, with the more aggro meta that we're going into with Zoro, Bello Betty, and Shanks, I really like running more of like the 5-toss Ace and 7-toss Ace, the Josus, just more rush stuff like that. Next up, we do have some more 2Ks, straight out of op10 right here. We have 4 of the 4-toss Sanji, Tony Chopper. Always call this card Sanji because of the art. It's just my bad. It's a 2K counter, and then he's a 4-drop blocker. Looks like he only has 4K power, not the best, but his ability is on the opponent's turn. He does get 2 plus 2K power. Really great. Having a 6K power blocker for 4 is just an effect that is rarely seen in this game right now. And say on our 8th on turn, we can play him, play the Marco blocker, just fortress up if we need more time. It's a great feeling to have. And if not, he's a 2K blocker. See, after that, helping with the Whitebeard package a bit more, we have 3 Tossed a Mule at 3. It is another blocker. Kind of running a bit of those right now just to help keep us alive. Being a 4-life leader right now is pretty rough. But with Namul, 3K, 2K power, he's never surviving a hit. He is a chump blocker through and through. However, he does have the important on-play to draw 2, and put 2 back on the top or bottom of our deck. Very importantly, if we're going first, on our turn 2, 3-Dawn turn, we can play him, draw some cards, put one of the Thatches or Marcos on top, and then another card on top after that. So then for our 3rd turn, 5-Dawn, we will draw that 2nd card we put on top. Then we can play the Ace. Obviously not using the leader ability, but because of the Namul, we know what's on top of there, so we'll get to cheat out anything anyways. Normally this deck loves going second, but if we're forced to go first, this Namul into the 5-drop Ace can be just turn 2, play a blocker body, turn 3, play 2 bodies, and then we spiral out of control from there. It is one of the best ways to come back in a game and to really put some pressure on the opponent. After that, we have another new card from op10. 3 2-toss Monays. I do want to go up to 4 of this. I need to buy one, just haven't ordered it yet. But it's very good in this deck. It's a 2-toss, 3K power, 1K counter. We can rest her as an activate main. Great thing around Blackbeard, no on play is what we love to see. We can give up to 2 Rested Dawn to a leader or character. Free leader activation right here if we give it to him. Then give a character minus 1,000 power, which more power reduction, great to see. Say we have him or her, Rayleigh, Marco leader. We can give minus 3K power with here, minus another 3 for here, and then K with 3 or less. That can take down a 9K power, which is insane, especially because considering she doesn't have to be played this turn to do it. We can set her up a turn earlier, or hell, even on our first turn if we're going second, and it's a great feeling with that. Let's see, then we're going into another card we have 4 of. Is our 1-drop ESO Searcher. This is just a Whitebeard Pirate search to look at top 5 to Whitebeard Pirate. Pretty simple. There's a lot of cards like this. Obviously, with us running the more Whitebeard Focused package, we have so many targets. Really, our only targets are like our tech cards, like the Monets, the Choppers, the Sanjis, the Rayleighs. But really, you're almost guaranteed to hit off of this every time. If not, it's also a 1K counter, which you can never go wrong with more counter in this deck. After that, one of if not the best pieces of damage reduction in this deck, Otama. On play, give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 2,000 power for the turn. Insanely strong. On turn, we want to play Rayleigh and get rid of a big character. Play her for 1 Dawn minus 2,000 power. Someone use lead ability with the other Dawn minus another 2,000. That's minus 4,000. We didn't even use Monet if she's on the field. That's minus 5,000. Play the Rayleigh with our remaining Dawn minus another 3. That's minus 8,000. And then we can also KO a 3,000 after that. That's an 11,000 power body. Rarely any cards get over that. And if they do, then it's hard to KO it anyways. However, one of the best cards that help us get around that is the Divine Departure. Probably my favorite card out of the new set. Divine Departure, trying to grab the other one up here. Sticking to the table a bit. It's great. I'm seeing a lot of builds running 3 of it. I opt for 2. I think 2 just feels better. We run so many Brits at the top end that I just don't want to run anymore. It does have a main and also counter effect with an event. This is rare to see. And OP11 will get more of them, but as for right now, I really like this card. Because basically you can play it, then rest 5 more Dawn. Basically just rest 6 Dawn to KO an 8K power less. Perfect for the Bonnie matchup. Extremely powerful for the Blackbeard matchup as well. Not having on play, we can just do some different damage or power lowers with the leader, the Monets, get the 10 tossed Blackbeard down, and then drop this, and then counter, just give a character plus 3K power. I've debated running Guard Point or Rad Beam in the past, especially in OP08. Never thought about them ever since this card released. So that is my Marco deck profile. I've taken it to a few events since OP10 release. Nothing too big, just store events every here. here and there close where I live. It's been pretty good showing, honestly. One of the events I did go against 3 Blackbeards. That was just rough. It made me rethink the entire way I played this deck. I definitely added some cards, added more rushers with the aces, just so needed for the Blackbeard matchup, especially this new date right here. His ability is an activate main, which is really good. Yeah, you don't get the attached on with the on play, but you almost don't need it. I've seen tailing, just tapping it to tail a body, really impactful. Obviously, you can get rid of a Vasto shot early game, so you can swing into life easier. I just love that card so much. Let's see, other thoughts on the deck so far. It does struggle against aggro. Being a 4-life leader makes sense. Weirdly enough, purple-blue Reiju right now, one of my toughest matchups from my locals, but I have a lot of people in my locals that play the deck. This version of the deck, in my opinion, is really good into Shanks, just with a higher density of blockers and power reducers with the Ace or the Rayleighs, and able to get over the 10 cost Shanks is not as impossible as it used to feel with the older version and build of this deck. Mainly with the Ivantov engine is what's really popular, especially with people like Eggman and people pushing those forward. I think, honestly, the Whitebeard Pirates version is starting to go pretty far in this meta, especially going into EBO2, OP11. We have a good matchup into the blue-purple Luffy. We're obviously getting that 5-toss Tsunami blocker, on play, draw 2, put 2 back on top or bottom. It's a better Namul. It's straight up just a better one with him drawing 2. She draws 3, both blockers. She can survive hits. He can't. So I'm definitely adding those in when they come out. And obviously, that ST22 Whitebeard Ace deck coming out, I'm going to add a bunch of cards in this deck. But until then, we test with the ratios a bit more. Going to be posting a lot more One Piece content after this. Just want to show off my favorite leader and who I've been taking to events recently. But testing out a few other deck profiles, might post them on here. But there's my Marco deck.